respectable Vice Rector of Academic Affairs, University of Bengkulu, Prof. Liza Avanti, PhD, for supporting this Asian Learning Network International webinar. The Honorable, the Chairman of Asian Learning Network, Prof. Datuk Zainal. The Honorable, the Vice Chairman of Asian Learning Network, Father Aloy and Prof. Mahara. The Honorable Executive Director of Asian Learning Network, Prof. Tita Venezuela, and all the beloved participants. Ladies and gentlemen, on this special event, we have several agendas as follows. First, opening speech from Vice Rector Academic Affairs, University of Bengkulu. Second, panel session. Then, we are now going to listen to the opening speech delivered by the Vice Rector Academic Affairs, University of Bengkulu. To Prof. Liza Avanti, PhD, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to be with you all, the distinguished speaker for today's meeting. First of all, I would like to thank Asian Learning Network, who has allowed the University of Bengkulu to host this virtual meeting. I would also like to thank especially Prof. Tita Evasco Branzuela, Deputy Executive Director of Asian Learning Network from San Beda University, the Philippines, and Associate Professor Dr. Wee Yugi, University of Malaysia, Kelantan, our keynote speaker of the webinar who will provide information of the SEED programs. I would also like to thank Nadia Aprilianti, UNIP alumnus of SEED program, and Yehan Megashira Lazwardi from Parahyangan Catholic University, who will share their positive experiences of SEED programs. Ladies and gentlemen, before we talk more about SEED program, I would like to brief you all about our university. University of Bengkulu is a state university established in 1982 with a student body of roughly 22,000 and 825 lecturers in 78 study programs. The university is located in gorgeous coastal city, Bengkulu, in southwest Sumatra, Indonesia. And from our university, you can see the stunning view of Indian Ocean from our main campus. And also, the city is home of the biggest flower in the world, the coast lily, or better known as Rafflesia arnoldi, and home of the tallest flower in the world, kibud flower, or Amorphophallus titanum. As we all know, the Social Enterprise for Economic Development program is a cross-cultural management learning program, which is very good for our students. And we believe that the SEED program would equip our students with the skill to work in a cross-cultural environment. Students must understand that understand other cultures, since the working environment is becoming borderless. We will certainly encourage our students and lecturers to participate in any SEED program in the future, since SEED could also be one of the free campus program initiated by our Minister of Education and Culture, Nadiem Makarim, which recommends students to study off campus for 3 semesters. Prof. Tita and the management of Asian Learning Network, I would like to express our interest, let's say next year, to host a SEED program, the real program, not the virtual one, in the city of Bengkulu. And in the city of Bengkulu, for instance, we have plenty of ecotourism. One example would be the 200 hectares of mangrove forest park, which is managed by the people who live in the coastal area and community of mangrove lovers. So I'm sure future participants would learn a lot from the mangrove community while enjoying a 7 kilometers exotic white sandy beach of the city. So I think best wishes for the seminar and have a productive meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Alfandi, for giving welcome speech. The next agenda is panel session that will be guided by Mr. Berto Usman, PhD. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Berto Usman, PhD.
Thank you, moderator. First, let me greet the participant of our webinar today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. With all due respect to Rector of the University of Bengkulu, in this occasion represented by the Vice Rector of Academic Affairs, Professor Liza Alfansi, the Chair of ASEAN Learning Network, Professor Dato Zainal, Professor Lee Choi Chong, Professor Tita Branzuela, Associate Professor Dr. Wee Yugi, the Head of Office of Partnership and International Affairs, University of Bengkulu, Dr. Dedi Suryadi, the representative of Asian Learning Networks members from Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam, the faculty members, students, and all webinar participants. I would like to welcome you all to our webinar today. Today, I will be the moderator of our panel session, where the topic of our today's webinar is Developing Social Enterprise for Economic Development Program as an Adaptive Learning and Collaborative Learning Model. This online seminar will be organized by the collaboration between Asian Learning Network and University of Bengkulu. Well, it is also a great pleasure for me to introduce our outstanding speakers to you. We have two keynote speakers from Philippines and Malaysia who will talk about what they have done and how do they integrate the development of SEED program as an adaptive learning and collaborative learning model in the setting of their country of origin. Also, we have two invited special speakers who were the alumni of SEED program, and they will share with us their experience during the participation in their SEED program. Our first keynote speaker is Professor Tita Ewasco Branzuela, PhD. Hello, Professor Tita. Am I pronouncing your name properly?
Yeah, correct.
All right, that's great. Hello. So Professor Tita is from San Beda University, Philippines. Prof. Tita is currently serving as a Vice President of Linkage and International Affairs at San Beda University. So let's go ahead to the second keynote speakers. So the second keynote speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Wee Yugi. Hello, Professor Dr. Wee. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that's great. All right. So Dr. Wee is from University Malaysia, Kelantan, Malaysia, and recently Professor Gi serving as the Honorary Secretary Malaysia Entrepreneurship Educator Association. And she is also serving as the Deputy Executive Director of ASEAN Learning Network. So our third speaker is Yehan Nigasira Lazuardi. Hello, Miss Yehan, are you there?
Hello.
Okay, that's nice. So Miss Yehan is the alumnus of SEED program from Parahyangan Catholic University, Indonesia. And our last speaker is Miss Nadia Aprilianti. Hello, Miss Nadia.
Hello.
All right, it's good to see you. So Miss Nadia is alumnus of SEED program from University of Bengkulu, Indonesia. So technically, each speaker will be given 20 up to 25 minutes for presentation. And at the end of the presentation of the four panelists, we will open the Q&A session. If you may have some question or you would like to fill in your curiosity, please do not hesitate to let me know. So we can proceed with enthusiastic Q&A session after the presentation of our four outstanding speakers. So please feel free to hit the chat or Q&A buttons, or you can simply hit the raise hand buttons to personally and directly deliver your question. However, the participants should follow the rule of question delivery. First, please address to which panelist you want to ask your question to. And second, don't forget to write down or mention your name and institution name. All right, without spending more time, I would like to share the screen with Professor Tita. Please, Professor Tita, you will have 20 up to 25 minutes, and I will be your time reminder when your time is approaching. Screen,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Oh. Honorable rectors, presidents, representatives, lecturers, and friends of our network, ALN EXCOM officers, Dr. Lee Choi Chong, our founding executive director, Professor Dato Sainay, our chair, Uni Rector President Prof. Ridwan, and Vice Rector Prof. Lizar, and organizing committee team members led by Prof. Didi. Good afternoon. I am humbled to be chosen as one of the speakers for this afternoon's seminar on developing social enterprise for economic development SEED program as an adaptive and collaborative learning model. Allow me therefore to share with you, as one of the 5 ALN founding member universities, our SEED learning experiences through the past years as we collaborated and learned together using ALN's framework and heart, which is social entrepreneurship. The presentation is divided into 2. Part 1, San Beda University SEED program highlights from 2014 to 2019, going through history and going through the program features. And part 2, developing SEED as adaptive collaborative learning model, ACLM. So the program highlights from 2014 to 2016, we focused on the rural communities of Bauco Mountain Province. We had participating universities from 6 to 11 partners, and we went to villages, 2014, 8 of them, 2015, 9 villages, 2016, 9, and we had group outputs, research-based recommendations and plans, a total of 26. So majority of those group outputs were on livelihood programs, social enterprise development, management, organizational leadership, and cooperatives, basically for farmers, women, senior citizens, youth groups, and different kinds of associations. So this is the aerial view of the municipality. So some of the participants would go to this top part of the mountain. We have two villages here. Some of the villages are down here and some are in the lower part. So it's really a very interesting immersion experience. So this one is our usual headquarters wherein we meet for some orientations and some activities with the local villages. We had the presentations at the end of the 2-week program wherein they defend or they present their different outputs to experts, to officials of the local government units. So this is the documentation of our SEED Philippines 2014. Our office then was called Office of International Cooperation. It was changed to Linkages and International Office in 2016. So the highlights in 2018 to 2019, we didn't have any SEED program in 2017 for some reasons. But for this 2018 to 2019, we decided to focus on urban communities to see how it is different from the rural villages. So this is in Antipolo City, Rizal Province, which is a bit near Manila. So participating universities, 5 up to maximum of 7. And then the villages, we had 6 in 2018. In 2019, we had 6. And the same thing, we had group outputs, research-based recommendations, and plans, totaled to 12. We more or less compiled all these outputs from 2014 to 2019, and we have them in our office for reference, and some of them were presented in international conferences. So again, similar to the rural communities, we had livelihood programs, micro-business startups, management, product development, and marketing. More or less, we noted that the groups are almost the same: farmers, women, senior citizens, the youth, and different similar associations. Oh, it won't change. It wouldn't move anymore. What happened?
So let me see.
It froze. Somebody?
It's frozen.
Yeah,
So
it's frozen. Okay.
could you please
Wait.
close your presentation first and then try to reopen it?
Okay. Okay. We'll try it. Sorry, guys.
It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. So, froze. Okay. So we're here. Oh, it's frozen again.
Still frozen. Are you sharing the proper monitor, or are you opening more than one monitors now?
No, I just want.
Just
Okay.
one? Okay.
Ada. Okay, it went
Okay, it works
now.
now. Thank
So
you.
this
Please.
is the aerial view of the urban villages. So the 6 villages are more or less located here. Okay, so for the urban communities. So this one is our documentation of 2018, our first urban seed. And we would notice that we have here already some of our international participants. They are just quite small, actually. I hope you will be able to see in your own monitors. This one, they visited one of the villages. This one consists of group activities in the municipality or the office of the mayor of Antipolo when we did or we had our visit. Oh, okay. So this one is for the 2019, a collection of the photos. So we had here the photo of Prof. Titek, quite small. We had interviews done by the participants. We had some visits in the areas. Usually they go there daily. And then we had activities after dinner and sometimes working on towards the wee hours of the morning, trying to decide or reflect on the day's experience in preparation for the following day. So another photo, this was after the presentation they had. So we had here Prof. Farok, we had here Prof. Titek, Prof. Naz from UMK, and somebody here from UNPAR. So this was done during the orientation. This was the inspirational message given by our rector president and the cultural night we had. And then these are some activities together with them and with the local international lecturers. So notes on SBU Seed Program 2014 to 2019, something like a summary. So SBU conducted the program anchored on ALN, having the program as its major collaborative cross-cultural academic research and community engagement-based activity. So these are for faculty, lecturers, students, and staff from different countries. And sometimes we do have participants from other countries like Japan, United Kingdom, and they are not members of our network yet, but more or less they're interested with the SEED program. So they joined our participants from our member universities. Number 2, it is focused, or our SEED program has been focused as a transformational leadership program utilizing the social entrepreneurship framework. And as Dr. or Prof. Lee Choi usually would stress it out during orientations, we would like to contribute to the transformation of the mindsets of the participants and the locals in the process of context-based integration of academics, research, and community engagement, basically for community development. So brief historical perspective, SEED program, as we would know, is an experiential learning mode. And some of the Sanbeda people would say Prof. Lee Choi is the father of ALN SEED, having introduced it to us. And basically this has been conceptualized in the University of St. Gallen for its intercultural management students. So the SEED program, some of us know already, has been done in 2007 in Bandung. And there were volunteer students from St. Gallen, Singapore Management University, and ITB in Bandung, and observed a 2-week period of being in the villages. Onward, with the ALN officially organized in 2009 by UMK, BUH, Sanbeda, ITB, and the Asia Research Center, other SEED programs were conducted in the different member countries. Oh, again.
Again, Frozen.
Again. Okay. That's how we do it.
Sometimes it happens. Okay. Okay, it
Yep.
works now.
Okay. So the developing this SBU SEED program, the call to respond. There's this call to respond from each member. And we're so happy to hear that UNIB would like to come up with their own, hopefully by next year. And we are all here to support you in having your own SEED program. And we'll be going there to assist and be there to inspire. So basically, we noted actually that the thrust repeatedly is academic excellence, collaboration with partners, and the use of context-based approach in research, in teaching, and practice training. So the initial step done by Sanbeda at that time to conduct its own SEED program was for the rector-president to assign appropriate representatives to go. So to UMK, we sent our college dean for the area of teaching, also the research director for the area of research, and the community involvement engagement director for the practice teaching or community involvement. Oops. Okay, so the observers' notes from participating in SEED, UMK, ITB, and BUH. So its founding university noted that all observed the vision, mission, and approach, maintained the program duration of 2 weeks, and then basically it focused on contributing to community development. And it has its own way of conducting the program in the villages and rural communities. We noted that lately we had a mini SEED, we have from the LSU, we have from Thailand, and they are all unique, but again, all focused to community development of the area that they conducted the program. So basically what is most important, particularly in this era, is multicultural experiential learning, because usually the employees would be looking at the diverse experiences that each of the future workers will be having. So we are providing, the ALNs providing opportunities in the context of either community service, volunteerism, or service learning. So much appreciation to you, MK, ITB, and BUH. You are our senior professors in the SEED program. First time I met Professor Farouk, Dr. Lee, Dr. Johan from UNK, ITB, Pak Naya, and then BUH, Prof. Lien, and then Prof. Tung, and Dr. Dao. So thank you very much. We learned from you guys. Oops. What's happening? Okay, so program features for Sanbeda. It became an institutional collaborative program of the institution. Everybody is involved. Although my office is the lead, but everybody's involved, the academics, the research, community engagement, and other support offices. So Another is communication with the ALN management team, informing them that we'll be having our seed program. And then collaboration and coordination with government, with academe, with industry, and with some NGOs. Also, we usually have an MOA between Sanbeda and the concerned local government unit. Particularly, our reference points are on the actual conduct of the program, transportation, security, schedules, and site guides and contacts. And also then, the official communication to partners and invitations to join us. Gosh, I'm using up the time of everybody here.
No, don't worry, you still have around 8 minutes.
Okay, almost done. I'll make a shortcut. I don't know why. Maybe telling me to stop talking. Okay, so sample of the San Pedro University Organizing Committee, we should have this as an institutional preparation. Then onwards, we have manuals for the organizers. We also have manuals for the participants. Usually, Prof. Lee Choi as executive director would go ahead before we will start the conduct of the program, and he would join us in our ocular visits to the sites and courtesy call to concerned leaders. This one, we have a courtesy call with the mayor of the municipality. And then we have here orientation. He was also with us. Orientation with the local lay leaders and the parish priest who is supporting us as well. So courtesy calls and orientation to villagers. So notably, we also have greetings and congratulatory messages from our then president, Benigno Aquino, in 2014 when we started it, congratulating ALN and congratulating Sanbeda. So implementation, we maintained it 2 weeks duration. We had orientation training within that week with international facilitators, and we introduced co-facilitators who are international. And focus on the training is on transformational leadership and the seed methodology and framework. So orientation also for student participants on program flow, requirements, group outputs. Then we had initial meetings as mentioned, and then finally presentation of recommendations, business plans to villagers, local government officials, experts, evaluation of group outputs for possible funding, then evaluation of the activities. So for the orientation of facilitators is one example. So Dr. Lee Choi usually would also take part in the orientation. And then orientation for student participants. We usually have it before we go up to the villages. This orientation is usually done in Sanbeda. And then participants manual, as I mentioned, as guide. And then in 2016, we have a new president who is still the current president, and he also gave a congratulatory message to us and to ALN. And this is one example of our groupings, because per seed program, sometimes we have more than 6 groups. So an example is we made sure that not more than 2 participants will be coming from the same university, because we would like the learning experience to be really multicultural, cross-cultural. So example here, we have from Japan, we have from Switzerland, we have Thailand, we have our friend Fernando, and then from San Beda College. So we have presentation to the panel for their comments. Usually this is done, the presentation has been done usually to the villagers before final presentation for their comments or clarifications. So highlights of the evaluation result. We're so happy that from 2014 to 2019, we got more or less very good ratings. And the most important are the different comments or messages left. So one important comment I placed in here is that he came as an observer. He was invited as an observer but later he noted that he was supposed to be part of the team already. And in the end, he said, I was assigned as a group team member, but left the Philippines, left us as a family member. He is here with us. And I told him, should I name you, or maybe we just keep it a secret? So part 2, developing SEED as adaptive and collaborative learning model from the perspective of San Beda. So it is based on the experiential learning model of SEED. And then we're talking about adaptive learning, which is more or less needed, particularly at this time, and perhaps with the use of technology, and collaborative learning, which is group learning mode. So the ALN SEED is in terms of concrete experience, having the experience, reflective observation, reflecting on the experience, usually done in the afternoon or on a daily basis, learning from the experience, sharing it, and then trying out what we learned or planning later on what should be done. So that's our ALN SEED. So what's SBU's initiatives? What are we doing? And what are our recommendations for this ACLM that we're thinking perhaps all together as a network we can do together? Unique ways of approaching SEED we can share later on as the months would proceed. So for San Beda, we're going to continue implementing online virtual learning programs, projects, and activities which are experiential, adaptive, and collaborative in the areas of academics like international e-lectures, webinars, trainings, workshops. Same for research, international e-research, matching, joint publication lectures for faculty and students, and community outreach extension, which we can explore to have e-outreach lectures, webinars, trainings, and workshops. Collaboration with ALN members, us, on priority appropriate areas based on the ALN framework. In addition to business, we can go beyond it. We can explore it further to law, health, psychology, languages, or technology. And then on collaborate with the government, academe, industry, NGOs, and grants. There are many grants around. And perhaps later on, we can work it all together. So as a network, we can apply for that. So then on, the Asian Learning with its programs, particularly SEED, showcases the role of HEIs, which is the promotion of learning, knowledge, skills, acquisition, and formation of proper attitudes and values, facilitates the development of competencies and mindset, seeks to include empathy and sense of personal social responsibility among our students, the future development workers in various fields, servant leaders who can contribute in addressing the needs of our community, our society, and the world, and as caring and responsible global citizens. So salamat po, dear ALN friends. Let us continue moving on together as one in this learning journey. Share experiences, adapt, and collaborate to be of better service to others. Take extra care, everyone. Thank you very much. I hope I did not use up much of the time. So sorry.
Berto, you need to unmute.
I'm sorry, you cannot hear my voice. So the timing of your presentation is very perfect, Professor Tita, and thank you so much for a very nice presentation. I would like to welcome our second keynote speakers from University Kelantan, Malaysia. And the screen is for Associate Professor Dr. Wee. Please, Dr. Wee.
Thank you, Mr. Berto. Thank you, Professor Tita, for completing the job for me, that I don't have to say too much about how we execute SEED program. Honorable Vice Rector, Professor Liza, Honorable Executive Committee of ALN, Professor Datuk Zainai, Professor Lee Choi, Father Aloy, if he's here, and Professor Tita, Prof. Farouk. It's good to see all of you here. For no reason, I am nervous. Okay. Let me share a little bit on SEED-UMK in relation to the topic given today. So the topic given today is developing SEED program as an adaptive and collaborative learning. So when I got this topic, I was asking Prof. Tita, what should we talk about? So we try to facilitate the host requirement. So let me share a little bit on SEED-UMK and relate it to today's topic. Can you see the screen? Can you see the slide?
Yeah, it's clear. Okay.
Right. We have been presenting SEED-UMK, the journey of 2010 to 2019 to respective ALM members. So in order to feed today's discussion on how SEED could be facilitated as an adaptive and collaborative learning model, I have tried to summarize what we have done in UMK and also how UNIT and others institution could replicate or expand further. Before I share what we did at UMK, allow me to brief a little. There could be members who are not from ALN today. Allow me to share a little bit on how SEED program came about to UMK. And the SEED program is actually the flagship program of ASEAN Learning Network. And today, ASEAN Learning Network is comprised of 40 member institutions in ASEAN country, and launched in February 2009. As you can see, these are the gentlemen, these are the professors who brought the universities together and formed the network. And of course, we have Professor Naya, Pak Naya, who was the founder chairman, and Prof. Lee Choi and Prof. Datuk Zainai and Father Aloy came together to formalize the establishment of ASEAN Learning Network and the conceptualization of the SEED program. The design of SEED program was then shared to the members. And today, so we see the outcome and also the wonderful results of the SEED program implemented by different institutions. So the first SEED program was actually implemented by Bandung Institute of Technology in Indonesia, and it was under the leadership of Pak Naya and of course Prof. Lee Choi, and that was in 2007. So upon learning the program of SEED conducted by ITB, what happened was it was shared among the ALM members. And as a result, today we witness there are more than 30 SEED programs which have taken place in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam. I could not include all the wonderful posters in this slide. They obviously did a very good job, but they are of different sizes and 30 is just too much. So I just picked some interesting one. Forgive me if I don't pick the nice one. So basically, we have had more than 10 SEED programs by ITB, Indonesia, and UMK has executed 7 official SEED programs and 3 are follow-up in the span of 2010 to 2019. And Sembeda has 4 SEED programs, including their urban SEED, and also led by Fernando in Umpar, Parayangan Catholic University. They have got 4 SEED programs. And Banking University, Ho Chi Minh City has successfully executed 2 SEED programs and 4 mini SEED by Prince of Songkla University. But I would like to highlight that the 4 mini SEED is not mini at all. It is of almost the grand scale of what our official SEED program is. So we look forward to add on the list, whereby we will have University of Bengkulu very soon.
Yep.
Yeah. Most likely after COVID-19 was contained.
Yes.
So as I have mentioned earlier, University Malaysia Kelantan has a history of almost 8 to 10 years of running SEED program. I would not be able to share every single project, but this is this is a pioneer group where, if you can see the gentleman here now holding a backpack, the tallest one, he is actually a very successful entrepreneur now, earning millions of sales. So we would like to highlight that UMK SEED has got a history of 8 years, and we have conducted many projects, including cottage businesses, including bakers, catfish, goat and chicken, livestock, mushroom planters, farmers, and all. So these are the details on the other 6 SEED programs that took place since 2010. So we have also worked with the indigenous community, Termia community in Gua Musang, and we have also moved to Pulau Teluk Ronjuna, villages in Kampung Nelayan Kandis, and Kampung Kusia Baru, Kampung Bukit Durian. The person behind this during this period was actually Prof. Farouk, and he orchestrated the program, and also he chose very carefully on which village we could go to, and hence UMK has managed to organize more than 7 SEED programs. So looking back at the title that is given to me as the keynote speaker, how SEED program could be facilitating adaptive and collaborative learning. So I wish to relate it to SEED program objectives. As explained by Prof. Tita, international participants, SEED participants who are from different country of origins, they are made to sit together in the village and work cross-culturally. So in that setting, in that new and unique environment setting, in a village setting that is somehow lacking, where there is no Wi-Fi, there is no comfort as how they would have back home, they need to learn. And with the set of problems that they have in hand, that they have to solve with the villagers, they tend to be more empathizing, and that will help to build socially responsible and responsive leaders among our students. And with that, we also see that while working on the problems in hand, just like what we normally see, science students get to go to the laboratory, but social science students, normally we do not have such lab. So this is a good lab, social lab, that we send our students to, and they work in the village. And somehow, while we have facilitators, academic and faculty members to help them with working on the problems, somehow our faculty members do not have a direct solution to the sets of problems that are presented by the villagers. So in a way, during the 12-day program in the village, basically all the participants, including students, facilitators, villagers, they all get transformed while working together. And it is hoped that through this process, the society would be able to achieve the planned prosperity and economic development. And also with the different business plans and action plans that are presented by the SEED participants, we see that they are becoming more entrepreneurial and very creative. And and referring to the SEED methodologies, how do SEED participants go about to execute the 12-day tasks that are being given to them? So it is through immersion and practice, just like how Prof. Tita has presented. They have to go through experiential learning through hands-on by making what the villagers do or produce. With very limited knowledge and with somehow knowledge that are not taught in class, they will have to explore on their own. And somehow it's a challenge. Like I said, there is no Google for them to refer to. There is no Wi-Fi that they have to, so they have to refer to their professors. They have to find all kinds of alternative solution, observe the villagers, do consultation, discuss with the villagers, and come up with creative presentation at the end of the program. So we see that with this process, students are made to sit together in cross-cultural team settle all the conflicts that they might have, and work together, putting aside all the differences and work towards one goal, which is to help the villagers. So basically, what is important to emphasize here is that why SEED program has been very important to build, to help build entrepreneurial students and also creative graduate. It is the process of transformation that makes them different. So in the process of helping the villagers, the students actually learn how to be open-minded and how to accept others' ideas, how to empathize and how to be open to new ideas and knowledge. And while presenting to the villagers, they have to also be contextual, whereby we see that some students might be telling the villagers that you should sell or promote through Facebook. And that is not very practical because villagers do not know how to sustain that solution. So somehow when villagers turn them down, they will have to again present and find other solutions that fit to the context. So in the process of searching for the best solution, we see that students become a better person and they become transformational leader. And so this is the structure that we have, just like what Prof. Tita has briefly explained. Normally, a typical SEED program at UMK takes up 12 days, where we start with the arrival of participants and we will welcome them. And this is followed by SEED workshop delivered by Prof. Lee Choi or Prof. Faro and other speakers that we could invite. And it is followed by ice-breaking industry visits and exposures around the town of Kota Bharu. And so they will, then the first day of the session will be them going to the village and starting to work on data collection. And so they will work on the different investigation and also questioning until they can find solution and they can propose business and action plan at the end of the program. So that will end with a final presentation and assessment from a panel consisting of professors and also industry partners, government agencies that we invite. Specifically those who can help to uplift the feasible project and offer financial assistance or other form of assistance to the villagers. So I think I would not go through this. This is self-explanatory, where these are the activities that students would go through in the SEED program. And as we run the SEED program, we slowly encounter some problems in terms of budgeting, where it is normal that universities revise the budget. So what happened is that in order to keep SEED program further in UMK and also to upgrade the SEED program, whereby the quality of business plan could be better and more convincing, we actually applied the SEED program to MBA students last year. And because these are part-time MBA students and they could not stay in the village for 12 days, so what happened was that we break the SEED program into few phases. So the data collection happens over the weekends. And when they finally go into the village, it took only 6 days for them to finalize everything and present it to the villagers. So this was fairly new for us at UMK last year. And we did it in Setu Wetlands, Kuala Terengganu. And just to share some of the innovative solutions that are presented by SEED participants, these are just one or two projects. There are many, many of them. So it includes improving the packaging of the business, the banana crackers, if you can see, and also helping to increase the commercial value of handicraft of the villages, and operational layout of a fishery project by Pak Ibrahim, and also to help Kak Murni, bakers. So these are just example. These are just some examples of SEED projects that we had at UMK and the solutions forwarded by the SEED participants. So in sum, SEED challenge lies with having all participants to be open enough to be transformed, to work together against the differences that we have in 12 days, including faculty members who would sacrifice and stay with the students in the village for 12 days, and willingness to help to develop the village. So many would ask the question of how then we should organize SEED program. So this, I attempted to list out some of the important tasks that we need to look into while we organize SEED program. So basically, the most important thing is to secure sufficient budget, sponsors, and adequate organizational support. And it is also important to determine the scope, the number of projects that you can work on, and the scale of your SEED program, whether it's mini SEED or whether it's a grand SEED program, involving how many participants. It is all within your coordination. So you should also meet with the village head and also identify or determine feasible projects, the ones that the students can work on, and the ones that could also be facilitated by your faculty members. And SEED working committee has to be very strong to help execute the 12 days program. And as for facilitators, it can be students or SEED alumni or faculty members, but TOT, train the trainers workshop, must be in place prior to SEED execution. And sometimes, as for SEED programs, we do find projects that are in different fields, such as agriculture, in food security. So we do need some support from field experts, government agencies, and industry partners, NGOs. And lastly, it is also important to include media, because with media coming into place, the projects and the program will be highlighted. Therefore, that makes it easier for you to secure additional budget or sponsors in your next SEED program. So this is just our experience at UMK. And so allow me to share a little bit of small achievements from UMK, that SEED UMK has won the Student Driven Sustainability Project of the Year Award at 2020 Asia Pacific EEE Award ceremony in Kochi, India last January. And basically a little bit on statistics. We have involved more than 180 local students, groomed and built 48 facilitators, went into 6 villages in 4 districts in Kelantan, 1 village in Setiu, Kuala Terengganu, involved 132 international participants from 10 different countries, 36 projects benefiting more than 75 villages directly and over 150 indirectly, 12 government agencies and NGOs, 15 foreign universities partners who send their students to us, and 2 local university partners. And lastly, these are some of the successful SEED alumni that we have been keeping track on Facebook, basically. There are, of course, many more. And these are the visible ones on Facebook, where the first one is Lai Emily Boon. She is now a very successful banker in Hong Leong Bank in Malaysia, and has managed to be corporate entrepreneur, whereby the sales is very high yearly and is awarded annually by the organization. And the second one is T. Metani. T. Metani is a student of PSU, and he is now running his own cafe called the Company Coffee in Hat Yai. And last one is Said Saleh. Said Saleh is the student of UTM, but he joined SEED UMK in 2015, if I'm not mistaken, and now he is running his own plantation farm. So he's running his own farm, and that's why you can see the corn, and he's a very happy entrepreneur now. So just to share that this is the outcome that we would like to see from SEED program, and we are very proud to share with ALN members and also the participants here today. And as for now, because it's during COVID-19 pandemic period, so mobility is restricted. Therefore, although we attempted to have SEED program in last April, but we couldn't do that because of movement control order imposed by Malaysian government. Somehow we focus on program assessment and impact study, which is ongoing, because this would help the university to sustain the program at all levels. So with this, I thank you for your attention. And if you have any further questions, you can email, or we'll be very happy to address it after the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Dr. Wee. I could imagine how happy the local people and the students when they were in touch with the SEED program. All right, so we've been seeing the presentation from the two keynote speakers. We would like to proceed with the student version now. So we would like to know how did they feel and their experience while they were participating in the SEED program. And then we would like to welcome the third speaker, Miss Yehan. So Miss Yehan, are you ready?
Already.
All right, so the screen is yours.
Okay. 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 Hello, everyone. My name is Harmika Selazwardi. At first, I will thanks to Bengkulu University for having me as a speaker to share my experience in joining SID. At first, I will say hi to Prof. Lizar as a Vice Rector of Bengkulu University, and also ALN Chairman, Datuk Zainai, and Prof. Chong, Dr. Tita, Dr. Dedi, Dr. Titi from Bengkulu, and all of the representative of ALN. I want to tell you the story about my experience joining SID and what will you get if you join SID. So this is the title of my presentation, The Transformation Through SID. Okay, I'll tell you more about me. So my name is Harmika Sirazwardi. I am currently majoring in management at Parahan Catholic University, or also known as UNPAR. I'm in batch 20 and 17. So the question is, why did I join SID? At first, I like to getting more people. I like to getting new friends. And of course, I like to traveling. So I want to travel because the SID UNPAR and Urban SID, the location is pretty far. So I want to try it. So luckily, I had an opportunity to join SID twice. The first, I participated SID UNPAR 2019, and the second, I participated in Urban SID Sanbeda in 2019. So my first story is about my journey in participating in SID UNPAR 2019. At first, as a home university, Parahan Catholic University, and as a UNPAR student, we are not only as a participant, but also we are a committee. We help the lecturer to organize this event. Like in the first photo, where we are welcoming the delegates from Thailand at Hussein Sastra International Airport. And the second photo is when the welcoming ceremony from UNPAR at Parahan Catholic University. And this is the picture with the whole delegates of SID UNPAR. And this is, I think, in my opinion, this is the amazing part of SID UNPAR, because in 2 weeks, we live with the Mr. Samsad's family. Like in the first picture is my group with Mr. Samsa family. As far, this is the longest time that I left home for 2 weeks. And the second picture is my group with our hero, our facilitator, Sarah Fernando Mulia. So after we discuss with the team, we getting know what the potential of Selawi. So Selawi, the location of the SID UNPAR. The Selawi, they has plenty of bamboo. So we choose to develop Cawiti and Barawi. Cawiti basically is a bamboo leaf tea, and Barawi is a karkal made of bamboo. And after the all work hard, we back to Bandung and we go city tour. Like in the first picture, we visited Grand Mosque of Bandung. Basically, Grand Mosque of Bandung is the biggest mosque in Bandung. And the second picture, we visited Saung Angklung Ujo, which is the most famous angklung gallery in Bandung. And luckily, I had an opportunity to join it again. And I want to try to travel to Philippines. And based on my experience of joining SIT Unpar, so I was excited. So I want to try it again to join SIT. So this is the first picture where my friend and Nadia uh, go to Manila. And the second picture is when the welcoming ceremony from Sambeda University. And in this picture, there is Dr. Titi from Bengkulu and Dr. Tita from Sambeda University. This is the third picture when the opening ceremony from Sambeda University at Rizal campus. At my group, we got a case to develop the Lumpia Wrapper and Cheese Stick Maker organization. So at first, we know how the price, how the quality of Lumpia Wrapper and Cheese Stick. So we went to the market at Antipolo, and this is the product of the cheese stick. And then they have the problem in marketing strategy. So we proposed the logo, like in this picture, we proposed the Lumpia Wrapper and Cheese Stick Maker logo. So they can increase their awareness of Lumpia Wrapper and Cheese Stick Maker from Sandui. And the next, we propose halal logo, halal to propose to get a halal certificate so they can add this halal logo to their packaging so they can expand their market. After we propose the solution, we present to the villagers, like in the first pictures, and then we also present to Urban City Tambeda Committee and City Administrator. After the all work hard, we had an opportunity to explore Rizal. Like in the first picture, we visited Regina Rosari Institute for Contemplation in Asia, and we visited Windmill Farm, Pelila, Rizal. Okay, after the long story and of course this excited story, this is the question. Of course, will be on your mind, right? So, should you join SIT program? So my answer is absolutely yes and absolutely right. Why? Because you will get this. The first one, you will learn new culture. Because in SIT Unpar and Urban Sitambeda, we had an opportunity to perform our culture. So we can exchange the culture from each participant. And also we know the new language or new food, of course. And the next, new friends, because we getting know new people. Of course, we getting new friends, and it's not only friends, but it's international friends. When I joined this program from Situnpar and Urban Sambeda, I have a friend from different islands, like from Bengkulu and Manado, and from international, I had a friend from Thailand, from Malaysia, from Cambodia, from Philippines, and then you're being able to adapt quickly because this we are getting to know people. They have their own style because those involved in this program is not only for one country, so we have to adapt quickly to them because we have to work with them in 2 weeks. So in here we learn to adapt quickly. After that, we also improve our hard skill. The first, we can transform knowledge into value. After this program, after Sit Unpar and Urban Sit Tabeda, I realized that the knowledge that I gain on campus, it will be useful. The knowledge that I got, it can help the community to improve their organization, to develop their organization. Like we will improve our problem solving skills because like for example, in management, I learned SWOT analysis. It made me easier to analyze the problem, to define the problem. and also make the strategy for them. In problem solving, we have to analyze, we have to define what the problem of the community, so it will improve your problem solving skills. And the next is opportunities to improve your English. Of course, because in 2 weeks, you have to directly communicate with the student from abroad, to the lecturer from abroad. So you don't use bahasa, you don't use your language. We use English, and it's not only use English in speaking, but of course in written, because we have to make a paper and the presentation. So after my story and what will you get of this program, my conclusion is, and I want to tell you, that if you had an opportunity to join this program, you're not only an ordinary student, but you will become the extraordinary student. Why? You will have an international experience, right? You will have an experience to work with another participant from another country because they have their own culture. We have to adapt quickly with them, and we also had an opportunity to implement our knowledge to the real world. We're not only face the problem by the textbooks, but of course we face the problem in the real world, the problem that faced by the communities. So we have the opportunity to implement our knowledge to the real world. So that's my story and my experience. Hopefully you will have the opportunity to join SIT. And this is my social media, my Instagram, Rehan Megasira, and my LinkedIn, Rehan Megasira Lazwari. You can text me there, you can ask me there. If you have a question about SIT, or if you have worries or concern about SIT, just let me know, just text me, and I will try my best to answer it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rehan. So attending the SIT program 2 times will give you a lot of experience, right? So I could imagine that you've learned a lot from this program. So, participants, audience, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that we will open the Q&A section after the last presentation of our invited speakers. So please do not hesitate to hit the chat menu, chat buttons, or you can simply hit the raise hand button so that you can deliver your question personally. So we will proceed with the last speaker. So are you ready, Miss Nadia?
Yeah, hello.
Yep, hello. Okay, so the screen is yours, so please use. We still have a lot of time, so no need to be in rush, all right?
Okay. Okay, can you see the screen?
Okay, it is processing now. Maybe. Okay, it's clear now. We can see it.
Okay, wait. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Nadia Prilianti from University of Bengkulu. So first of all, I would like to say thank you very much for the panelists and also especially for Professor Lizar for giving me the chance to share my experience during this Social Enterprise for Economic Development SEED program. So I was one of the participants in mini-SEED UMK 2019 programs last year. So I was joined that program when I was still a medical student. And now I have finished my bachelor of medicine, and now I am a co-assistant in one of the hospital in Bengkulu. So mini-SEED UMK 2019 program was held by University Malaysia Kelantan and ASEAN Learning Network in Setiu Wetlands, Kuala Terengganu, Malaysia. And the program was implemented for 5 days. Sorry, it's frozen. Okay. Okay, here I will try to share my experiences during this mini-sit UMK 2019 program. So the mini-sit, the Social Enterprise for Economic Development or SIT program, is a unique student-centered and socially responsible learning initiative requiring students to work together in multicultural teams to learn experientially in real-life context of a poor Southeast Asian village. So basically, the SIT program is usually held for 2 weeks long, but in this mini-SIT program, it's only 5 days. And the mini-SIT program, the mini-SIT UMK 2019 program is exclusively for executives who are pursuing MBA program at Malaysian Graduate School of Entrepreneurship and Business. So in mini-SIT UMK 2019 programs, there were 25 participants and who came from 5 different countries, and we were divided into groups with 4 different project houses. So what did we do for 5 days in City Wetland? So we did some activities in mini-SIT UMK 2019 programs that I found it's really very useful for me as an individual and also as a group member, because basically this program, this mini-SIT UMK program, is a cross-cultural learning program in which the participant like me, we can learn in real terms to work together with other people from different country and from different backgrounds and multicultural backgrounds in the same things. And the first activity is we did several workshops and seminar about how prepare the business plan, how we do an action plans, or how we collect data from our project houses. To be honest, at the first time, it was a bit confusing for me as a medical student, like learning about business or action plans. But lucky me that the other participant and also the steering committee of this program really helped me to understand about all of the project in mini-SIT UMK program. And before we went to the project houses, we did a focus group discussion to determine what steps that we would take before we went to the project houses. And then we also did social mapping and data collection for 3 days in our each project houses. Mine was the keripik pisang pewanis or banana chip pewanis. And as I said earlier, that this program basically is a cross-cultural learning program. So in this program, we also did a cultural presentation. So each country will perform their cultural presentation like traditional dance, traditional song, or even we play the traditional games in there. And also another activities that we did in mini-SIT UMK program was turtle patrol with WWF. So mini-SIT UMK 2019 program also collaborated with WWF Malaysian. So we had the chance to do turtle patrol. So we went to the beach at night and to see the turtle observation in Kuala Terengganu. And the last one is final presentation. After we collect the data and also social mapping for 3 days, we did our final presentation, and there were 2 different final presentations. The first one was the final presentation with the finalists, and the second one was the final presentation with the project houses owner. So what the benefits of mini-SIT program that I got from this program were first broaden personal perspective, because this program, to be honest, broadens my personal perspective, the way I see the problem, the way how I see the problems and how to solve it. And because in this program we are not asked to solve the problem alone. We were expected to be able to work together to solve the problem and to see the solution and our best solution to the project houses owner. And the second is experience new culture, of course, because we came from 5 different countries. We have different cultures and we have different languages. And the next benefit is study wide variety of issues from entrepreneurship, healthcare to education and the environment. And the last one is hone social awareness and social responsibility in the community. Because in the end of the day, whatever our work is and whatever our background is, we all want to be able to give something to the community. And I think by joining the Minisit UMK program, it gave me something, some knowledge that I could possibly do to my community in the future, because I think everyone can be entrepreneur and entrepreneurship is for everyone. So if there was another chance to join this program, I would like to take it. And the last one, I have 4-minute video that summarizes our activities in Kuala Terengganu for 5 days. Is it okay if I?
Sure.
Okay.
You can play the video, don't worry.
But I'm not sure you can hear the sound of the video.
Okay, let's try first. So. Could you please higher the sound, the volume? Do we have a kind of audio in your video?
And this video was made by the steering committee of Minisit UMK 2019 programs. Dr. Zoe?
I have the video. Do you want me to play for you the sound?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let me try. I have the same video.
All right, that will be great if Dr.
Okay,
we can handle.
So,
Okay.
okay. Let me try. Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, it's better. Thank you, Dr. Wei.
Climb up the tallest tree and see what's all around. The sun shines beaming and the air fills up with sound like oh. There's no fear. We're trying to see the future. We won't stop. Like we want to all the time, all the time. Jump as high as you can, fly to unknown, make every moment last, cause time is slipping away fast. Feel the rush of something that you've never done. Let everyone know that it's okay to have fun. Stand there's no fear. We're trying to see the future. We won't stop. Living our life like we want to all the time, all the time. There's no fear. I can see the future. We won't stop. Living our life like we want to all the time, all the
Can't believe it was a year ago.
Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you, Dr. Wee.
So thank you so much, Dr. Wee, for playing the video for us. It's a very interesting, a very beautiful activity that the student had experienced in SIDS program last year, right? In 2019. Was it?
Yeah, that was the 2019 program last year.
Oh, that's great. That's nice. All right, Miss Nadia, thank you so much for your presentation. That is an awesome presentation. And if you don't mind, I would like to welcome again all the participants. If you may want to have some curiosity and you want to ask some questions, we will be more than happy to welcome you. And 4 of our outstanding speakers will be happy to answer the questions. So let me check in the chat room if we have question has been delivered. Oh yeah, another way of asking the question, you can simply hit the raise hand button. So I will give you the priority to speak in the screen. So while waiting the questions come to the chat room, I would like to ask the speaker if you don't mind. So this one is just the opening. So maybe this question will be addressed to Professor Tita and Dr. Wee. So based on the experience in Philippines and in Malaysia, so I would like to ask you about how did you find the response of local people when they knew that they will have some multicultural students from many countries in Asia, where they were so surprised at the moment, they were so enthusiastic, and what do you think? How did you find them? Maybe Professor Tita can go first.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, they felt so honored to have been chosen to be the sites where we'll be bringing along students and lecturers from different partner universities from different countries. So everybody warmly welcomed all the participants, from the local government officials to lay villager leaders to the church officials. So very warm welcome and so excited to participate in the process of the SEED program.
Okay, that's nice. So let's go to Dr. Wee. So what do you think, Dr. Wee?
Basically, the villagers get very excited when they hear that international participants are coming. And of course, they are worried about language barrier.
Okay.
But it's not a big problem because every group, we mix the participants together. So we have our local students in the group and also some international participants. So in the end, they enjoy the process. So they do not have so much fear. And in fact, they enjoy the international participants.
Okay, that's nice. So even though the language somehow could be the problem, but it does not mean that the program will be distracted, so they can
because you have the local students around. Yes.
Okay, they have a company of the local
I have a
students.
question, Berto.
Yeah, please, Professor Lizar Alfansi.
Maybe Professor Tita or Dr. We can answer my question. How many students we can send for a year for one activity from our university?
Prof.
Me
Tita,
first.
How many students can participate from one university?
as many as
I'm just
Actually,
asking silly question.
yeah, Prof, actually for
Is it
meaningful
limited by numbers
experience
of a student?
from our end, from 2014 to 2019, we make sure on more or less the same number from different partners. So we gave a quota for each because we would like as much as possible, for example, just 8 participants in one site, 8 to 10 participants. So sometimes there would be 5 maximum or there would be 6 maximum per university.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
It depends on the host and then depend optimum for the class as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
we have another question from Prince of Songkla University from Dr. Farouk. So Dr. Farouk is asking about the sustainability of this program, the SEED program. What will be your opinion? So who's going to answer this question, Prof. Tita or Dr. Wee?
In terms
So maybe both of you.
Yep.
Please.
In terms of sustainability, we do have more or less the registration fee. And at the same time, we are working with our Benedictine Foundation, and we have a number of sponsors ready to support us. So more or less, if we're usually the registration is not enough. So we can sustain it based on the many interested sponsors and local partners that we have.
Okay. Dr. Wee, you want to add something?
Yeah, I think in terms of UMK, yes, we do have challenges in sustaining the program, but I think given the right benefits under the respective faculty or department, where they see the value of it, and there are enough manpower and facilitators to run it, where budget could be secured under such circumstances, program sustainability is not a big problem. So we will have to know where to park the program accordingly, because changes in leadership or changes in team is quite inevitable in any university. So what we do in UMK is that Prof. Farouk started very well. So when he chose to retire, we struggled a little, but then we find leaders who can accept the program because for the SEED facilitators, somehow after running it for more than 5 years, 6 years, the program, the SEED is already in the blood. So you would want to rerun the program again and again to benefit the students, to benefit the university and also the villages. So of course, the question of sustainability always comes into place. Somehow, like I say, it is how we value the program and the perspective of each stakeholders that we have to manage in order for them to see the impact of the program in long term, benefiting the students, the community, and also for the visibility of the university. And there are obviously all benefits and no harm in running the program. So in the end, that should be sufficient to sustain the program. That's how we managed to storm it through at UMK.
All right, so that is the answers for Dr. Farouk's questions. So while waiting the new questions, so okay, we have another new question from Nicholas from University of Bengkulu. So Peter has question to Yehan and Nadia. So does its applicants have to be a student who is studying in economics and business? If it is not, how does it help the other student who is not studying economics and business to understand the main goal of SIT? So this question is for Ms. Yehan and Ms. Nadia, please. Who wants to go first?
Okay. So basically, mini SIT or SIT program is for business and economic students, but here I am a medical student who joined the program last year. So I think, I don't know, maybe we can ask Dr. Wee or Dr. Tita if any student from different major can join this program or not. But last year, from a medical major, I'm a medical student. I could join that program, and if it is not, how does it help the other student who is not studying economics and business? As I said earlier, because lucky me, the other participant from mini SIT UMK program really helped me to understand the material, understand the workshop, and also help me to understand how to make a business plan and the action plans. So the participant was support each other.
All right. So it means that the participant is not necessarily mean they should study business and economics before attending the SIT program, right? So any student from different background are welcome. Is that true?
Yeah, but we can ask Dr. Wee and Dr. Tita to make sure.
Yes,
I think they will be more than happy to welcome.
yes, we welcome all students of different discipline. Yes.
Ini daripada Indonesia.
Thank you, Miss Nadia, for the answers. Miss Yehan, do you want to add something to Miss Nadia's answer? Okay, please.
Yes. Thank you for the question.
Yes.
I think it's very nice if the participant from various major, so we can solve the problem together from the various perspective, and also in SIT they have some workshop or seminar, so they can help us to solve the problem of the community.
All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
The next question, Mr. Berto.
Yes, please,
Is
bro.
it true that at the end of the program, each team or each student has to come up with some kind of business plan from the SITs that they are taking part of?
Okay, so business plan, project. So maybe Prof. Tita or Dr. Wee, is it compulsory for the student to have a business plan project as the outcome and the output of their participation in SITS program?
Me first?
Maybe Professor Tita, you
Anybody
can go
can
first.
answer.
Yeah, anybody can answer.
So, yeah, for St. Beda seed, we followed the original model wherein we require, but not individually. It is a group work because part of it is learning together, collaborating together on coming up with a specific output or a group paper for the village. So usually it's a group output, and it's a great opportunity because usually, for example, there'd be products that they would want to come up. There was one example of kimchi because we have many vegetables in the mountains, and they shared their different views on how to approach the product development and to help the villagers. So usually it's just one particular paper, Prof. Lizar.
Okay, so each team is assigned some kind of a lecturer who supervises them?
We have a local facilitator when we started, and then later we have a co-facilitator, usually two facilitators, just guiding them. But basically, they do have the orientation program. They have the orientation program on how to approach the village and the methodology, utilizing the business tools and research tools.
Okay. So do we have the same procedure of supervising process in University of Malaysia Kelantan, Dr. Wee?
Yes, prior to going into the village, students were actually exposed to a workshop. In the workshop, students are taught how to prepare a business plan, and the format is given to them.
Okay.
And what happens is that at University of Malaysia Kelantan, we actually look into the discipline that students are in. So we mix them, and we make sure that every single group has got business administration student, and every student has got finance students and science students. So this will help the science students to cope with writing business plan, because we understand that not every student can grasp the theories of writing business plan immediately in that 10 days.
That's true.
Yes.
So what we do is that while we give them the full format, but we do not expect them to complete everything comprehensively. So each group is then given a facilitator, where the facilitator is normally our academic or faculty member who has knowledge in producing business plan, and he or she is assisted by a SEED alumni who has gone through the SEED program. So it really helps us to ease the participants of SEED program, and it helps the students to assist each other when it comes to producing one. So it is produced in group, and normally there is no problem, although the stress is there. The stress is there because of the timing of the program, because they have to finish within 4 days, 5 days. So the stress is there, but they are assisted by a faculty member. They are assisted by a SEED alumni in the group. And of course, there are also field experts that facilitate the focus group discussion on certain day. So with that, we see that it is not a major problem, because students of different background are grouped in a team. So peer learning and peer support is very strong.
I see. So for those students who are coming from different background, there is no need to worry about how to create business project, right? Because we have the supervisor to
that's how Nadia survived, yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Nadia is from medical school, right? Okay. So we
Dr. Wee, could I interject?
Yeah,
I'm Farouk from Prince of Songkla University. Now, I guess it's not all about business plan, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Wee and Prof. Tita. It could be also some project which is not related to a business entity. It could be a project, a social project. For example, a tuition center, or for example, solving water problems in that particular village. So it's not necessarily a business plan. Now, and also, it's not necessarily business students to be the participants. Now, from my experience working with Prince Songkla University, the implementer in Prince Songkla University, Thailand is not from the Faculty of Business. It's not from the Faculty of Social Sciences. It's from the Faculty of Islamic Sciences. So we are from the Islamic faculty, and we are very proud of our mini seed program, which is almost like Dr. Wee did, the mini seed. So I guess it's open to all to learn about all these principles behind seed program. Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Farouk, thank you very much for highlighting this concern, this issue. All right, we have another question from De La Salle University from Dr. Norbi Salonga. So given the limitations and challenges brought about by the COVID pandemic, what are the steps or actions plan that ASEAN Learning Network proposed to undertake to be able to adapt to the new normal or realities of social engagement in this case? How these realities impact on the implementation of SEED initiative moving forward? That's from Dr. Norbi Salonga. So I don't know who's going to answer this question. Maybe Anybody, Dr. Wee or Professor Tita, or maybe?
As for UMK, the team at UMK has sat down and discussed again on how we could go back to the village for follow-up. This is also done with Associate Professor Dr. Johan, whereby we feel it is not possible to include international participants.
Mm-hmm.
We will still go back to the village this year because prior to the lockdown, we have had a discussion with the villagers and we have promised to return in April, but the time was put on hold. So we have visited them again and we are planning to have it again, but this time it is confined to local students only. We can't do we can't invite international participants to join our SEED program for this year. So everything will be kept to the minimal, including the number of local students who would join because of the standard operating procedures that we have to adhere to. So for now, the initiatives must go on, SEED must go on because we want to sustain the team and also manpower that we have gotten in the university. And we have also promised the villagers to return. So we would do a follow-up, but it is of small scale. So that's how we plan to do during this pandemic.
Okay, yeah, somehow this pandemic give us some troubles about how to conduct the procedure of the activity, right? But it will not give us any burden about how to go and proceed with the same project over years. So we still have around 15 minutes left. If you have any other question, I would like to welcome the participants. So, okay, while waiting, the other questions come up.
Prof. Peter wants to say something.
Okay, please.
Yeah. So may I share about the possible plans? Actually, in San Beda, we've been doing a lot already of some online academic research and possible outreach.
Okay.
So Norby, perhaps from De La Salle, can share with ALN later because we are not sure for how long will this last. But there are already being considered to be possible ALN seed programs wherein, since we're limited with a face-to-face usual practices that we've had, perhaps we can collaborate on something like an e-seed experience. And this perhaps can be conceptualized by everybody. Perhaps others can share because there are other partners from other networks that we have wherein they are already having their own some kind of collaborative online internationalization programs wherein they would provide cases, for example, in a specific community, and they will invite other partners to look at the case on an online setting and contribute. So maybe we can explore something like that and be unique on our own framework. So that's a possibility for ALN, Norby, or maybe you can share the model of the LSU. You have a lot of excellent projects. At the same time, perhaps for this pandemic, you're doing a lot of online collaborations as well.
Okay, so we might benchmark with the De La Salle University models, right? So maybe we can adapt something from what they have done. So that will be interesting if we go further with this collaboration. Thank you so much for highlighting this, Professor Tita. So,
and maybe not only with De La Salle,
of course,
maybe not only De La Salle.
Yeah, not
other universities. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Yes, please.
Thank you, Dr. Tita. I'd like to highlight what Dr. Farouk was mentioning earlier about the fact that social entrepreneurship is multi-sectoral, because in the LSU also, in the Lasallian Social Enterprise for Economic Development, of the 250 social entrepreneurs that we work with, majority of them are actually coming from engineering, from the liberal side, from the liberal arts, social side. So they're coming from various disciplines, and we work with various stakeholders, the private sector, public organizations. So it's really important to note that when we do SEED or when we do social entrepreneurship engagement or program, we have to bank on the fact that it's actually multi-sectoral and multidisciplinary in nature. And if I may, thank you, Dr. Tita, for mentioning, because in LC, as part of our initiative to be able to adapt to the COVID situation, to the pandemic situation, we launched our LC online mentoring, basically to allow our students and community to interact with our internal and external mentors from the networks of LC. So we do online mentoring sessions through Google Meet and through messengers with our community members. So that somehow has helped us to manage both the expectations of our students and community members in recalibrating recalibrating their social enterprise plans to be able to adapt to the new normal or realities brought about by the COVID pandemic. So I think that's maybe a model that we want to share to the network, that it is still possible to do online mentoring and coaching sessions with our students and community members, utilizing the various platforms that are available at their disposal. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
In my presentation, actually, I mentioned about trying to come up with other possibilities, other programs similar to SEED in the areas of law, for example. So not only business, could be on the health sciences, it could be on psychology, it could be on languages, Prof. Farouk, could be on technology. So we can just have the SEED model as is, and perhaps innovate on some special modes so that we'll be able to facilitate experiential learning, adaptability, and at the same time collaboration, even in this new normal that we're having.
All right. Thank you, Professor Tita, and thank you, Dr. Norby from De La Salle University, for sharing the experience from Philippines. And we have another question from a student. So this question will be for Ms. Yehan and Ms. Nadia, probably.
I think Prof. Lee Choi wants to say something.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Just comment on this before you go away from this topic.
Okay.
I think various universities in the network have already either moved into local SEED program to help people in their area, their vicinity, their families of students and neighbors of students. Effectively, this would include, for example, even UMK is planning a local SEED because you can travel across borders. And of course, University of Malaysia Perlis is running basically a rather local type of SEED program or similar type of program. And PSU too has done some work from the last previous seminar. You can hear the sharing. Now, ultimately, I mean, if international travel is not possible, I think the SEED program can just run locally. And in this time of pandemic, where the need for alternative business models is so in need to help struggling and dying businesses, I think students really can come in very, very handy, particularly in, for example, in helping them to sell online. It's something which a lot of students have the capability to do. But of course, they have to understand, and of course, perhaps the professors need to give some guidance, guidelines, point them in that right direction and how they can be of service to their community. At the end of the day, SEED program is all about people. Getting it done, achieving anything is all about people. And of course, sustainability is also all about people, because it is people who will find solutions to whatever problems they face. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we have another.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
I think the idea brought forward by Prof. Tita is really good. Amidst all this pandemic, COVID-19, I think there's a need for us to start thinking on this online kind of seed program. Perhaps different universities in this ALN group could come up with a group of their seed group, and they have their project in their country locally, and together they will share it in this sort of kind of webinar where they can learn from each other, and virtually they can also move around, because I think there's technology for people to be virtually moving around almost like they are there, you know. So I think this online seed is gonna be a trend, and we have to really think of it. Perhaps Dr. Wee in UMK will have their project, Prince Songkla will have their project, and then they will come together in one platform and try to show that these are what we are doing and what is your opinion about this, you know. So this kind of online business is still very relevant. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So this is interesting actually when we over the local seed to disseminate what they have done. So once we have the online meeting, and then, for example, the local seed from Indonesia, from Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand. Oh, so that will be interesting idea, I think, to be conducted. Maybe, yeah, it's really possible to be done. Okay, so is there any other opinion about this matter before we go forward to the other questions? No? Okay, so we have another question. And we have 5 minutes left, actually. Maybe we'll close this final question as the ultimate questions. So the question is from Yola Wulandari from University of Bengkulu. She's so interesting about this SEED program, and she has the question. So the first question is how to participate in SEED program, next SEED program. And is there any selection or test for being participants in SEED program? Thank you. So who's going to answer this interesting question? Dr. Wee, Professor Tita, or?
For San Beda, we do have a selection committee. And since we started with it focusing on business, it starts from the department and then approved by the dean.
Okay.
So usually the leadership skills and the academics of the student is considered. For others, we just accept from those who were sent by the partner universities. So each university has its own selection criteria. Some would just come in as volunteers, some would come in for credits. So it just depends. So for us, it's just a matter of welcoming them to the new learning experience with us.
Okay, so it means that normally every university, they have their own selection criteria, right? So they will select some student and they will send for the proceed for the exchange. All right, so it's pretty clear now. So because it's 5 minutes to 4, so maybe we will end our Q&A session. And again, I'm so happy to moderate this panel discussion, and we already arrived in the end of the panel session itself. Thank you so much. It's my great pleasure that we all have fruitful discussions today. I thought that 2 hours is not enough for sure, right?
Yes.
So as a moderator myself, I also learned a lot of new stuff and insights of the sharing session delivered by our speakers, from those who delivered the question and different experience that has been highlighted. So again, I would like to thank Professor Tita Evasco Branzuela, Dr. Wi Yugi, Ms. Yahan Migasira Lazwardi, and Ms. Nadia Aprilianti. Finally, on behalf of the program committee, I would like to express my appreciation to all the participants for taking time out of your busy duties to attend this webinar. and to all of your organization for sending excellent participants to the webinar, such the ASEAN Learning Network, university representative in ASEAN, all the faculty members, students, and I would like to close my remarks and officially announce the end of the panel session of this seminar. Wishing the future prosperity of all the participating ALN in Asian Pacific region. Stay safe and stay healthy as always. Thank you for your attention, and I will give the screen back to the host. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Berto.
Thank you.
Are you back in Indonesia or still in
Berto.
Italy, Dr. Berto?
Thank you, Dr. Berto. Yeah, I'm already back from Italy, so I'm waiting for my graduation ceremony now. And maybe if the pandemic doesn't burden me, I will go back to Italy next month, probably.
Okay, welcome home.
Thank you, thank you. So please, Miss Moderator, I give the screen back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Tita. Dr. Wee.
Thank you.
Prof. Choi, thank you.
I like to thank so much for Dr. Tita Epasco, Venezuela, PhD, Professor Dr. Wee Yugi, Miss Nadia Aprilianti, and Miss Yehan Megasira Lazuardi for giving such inspiring and interesting information. And also, thank you, Mr. Berto, for guiding us so well. And also, thank you for all the participants for being very active participation. Hopefully, the seminar will be beneficial for everybody. Now, I will leave you with a quote by Stewart Warren, an innovator and interesting thinker, who once said, "We can see the future, but not see it, and we can see the past, but not influence it. Let us all be guided by all the things we have learned throughout the international webinar and influence our future." Thank you, and thank you very much. Good afternoon, see you, and goodbye.
Thank you, Unid.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, stay safe and stay healthy.
Terima kasih.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, everyone.
Thank you, Bengkulu
Bye-bye.
University.
Hey guys, thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you
Love
so
you
much.
guys.
Bye, Dr. Wee.
Bye, see you again.
See you again.
See you again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rita.
Yes.
Now I remember my quote. What I wrote.
Yes, that's yours. That's yours. That's Fernando's message.
So bye-bye, Fernando.
Thank you, Dr. Lee Choi.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, Dio.
Bye, Dia.
Thank you, Dr. Berto.
Thank you, thank you, thank you to you.
So how many have left? Oh, still many staying. Prof. Titek, thank you.
Thank you.
Let us try to come up with a very unique program for UNIB.
One point, last one. Can we got the record that what do you call this? You use YouTube, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, probably we can distribute to the members such that we can share further to the new members or our group somewhere, such that this expanding the understanding, the importance of the seed program as well as ALN. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Don't
worry.
Yeah.
But maybe if they can do some kind of editing, so there's going to be shorter recording.
Yes, that's why I said that you do best first, and then distribute. Otherwise, that too long also, and then also maybe you can cut some of those.
Yeah, we will create the mini version of that. So don't worry about the video of today's record.
Yes. Thank you. Good.
Thank you for your input.
So best of luck for the moderator. So good of handling the
moderator.
session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to you.
Yeah. Okay, I need to go off now.
Yes, please. For those who
Thank you,
want to go off.
Dato. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. So maybe if you want to stay, we will open the room for another 1 or 2 minutes to say hi to each other of you. And then after 2 minutes, we
That's
will
good.
close the room.
Yeah. Prof. Farouk, is he around or left already? Oh, Dr. Jansen, thank you.
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome, Dr. Jansen.
Thank you. Dr. Tita?
Yes.
I already sent you the flyer for next week. For the
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I told him to communicate with you.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
So more programs with you, projects with you in your academic department.
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to see you are here.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm listening to you actually.
Yeah.
Dr. Jansen is normally everywhere, right? So
yeah, he's always Prof. Ali from PNU.
Where's Prof. Ali?
Yeah.
It's already gone.
Gone already?
Already gone.
Yeah, it's off.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody